The Rams start the Cody Worrell era with a victory. Hello, everybody. Terry Bennett here on the Powell Ford Mineral Wells football show. Right here on S2S Sports, part of the L4 Media Company, as the Rams run wild. And if you know anything about what Coach Worrell does, then you know you're going to get used to this. 530 yards on the ground as the Rams beat Castleberry 47-14. And oh wait, they'll run for more. No, I don't know if they'll run for more than 530 yards. But this is what a Worrell offense will do. They're going to grind you down. They're going to hit you with some big plays over the top once they grind you down. But first, they're going to wear you out. And that's exactly what they did against Castleberry in this very hot game. They, as we like to say, leaned on them. And just leaned on him until the Lions were like, we can't be leaned on anymore. We're tapping out, and it's a battle of attrition. It's a battle of wheels, however you want to say it. For the first game of the year, Mineral Wells did it all, and their defense played pretty darn good too, holding the Lions to 7 in the first and 7 in the second. Now, it wasn't perfect. There's a lot of mistakes early. That's going to happen in the first game of the year, and especially when it's 140,000 degrees. I can't tell you. I know we keep harping on the heat, but that's because every coach I've talked to has harped on the heat. And coaches usually are not that way, but it's so hot. It was so hot week one that coaches were talking about it beforehand and coaches were talking about it afterhand. And I think that kind of helped where it wasn't as bad as it could have been. I've talked to a ton of coaches this week, and not one of them had really bad cramp issues. Everybody had one or two, but, it wasn't like what a lot of people thought it might be. And that's 10 years ago, or I guess now 13 years ago or 11 years ago, whenever that last big heat wave came through and they started the extra water timeouts, a lot of people griped, that's not how the old guys did it. These new players are weak, blah, blah, blah. Well, it was needed. And them bringing that back when it's needed, it helped. And I could see it on the Thursday night game I was at and the Friday night game. You could see the players responding to just that extra 6-minute break. Get a little bit more water when maybe in the heat of the game you're not thinking about hydrating. So good on the UL for doing that and bringing that back. And good on for the coaches for making sure that they could be as prepared as you can. But you can never be perfectly prepared when it is like it was when we were at Lorena versus China Spring. At one point, it was like 145 on the field. Good job by the coaches this year. Anyway, we're going to be talking to the coach of the Mineral Wells Rams, Coach Cody Worrell. Brought to you by Jack Powell Ford, located at 1418 Southeast 1st Street in Mineral Wells. You can also give them a call, 940-325-1331. You can also visit them online at jackpowellford.com. I think most people, that's what they do now. You go online first, you kind of get an idea of what you want, and then you go. And Jack Powell Ford has it to where you can get pre-qualified. You don't even have to use your Social Security. You can look at their inventory. You can find what you want, and then you can get financing, or you can even schedule your service online or get a trade appraisal online. If you do need a part, you can take care of that by calling them if you're not going to go online at 940-468-3111. And you can also find them on Facebook. Just type in facebook.com/Jack Powell Ford, or just go into the search and look for Jack Powell Ford. All right, we're going to take a break. When we come back, it is the head coach of the Rams, Coach Cody Worrell, to talk that big win against Castleberry. Talk about what it means as a first-time head coach to get his first win in his first game, and then talk about the Week 2 matchup against Western Hills right here on the Powell Ford Mineral Wells football show on S2S Sports, part of L4 Media. Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at l4frclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español. Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at l4frclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español. Terry Bennett back here on the Powell Ford Mineral Wells Football Show. We're now joined by the head coach of the Rams, Coach Cody Worrell. And, Coach, first off, congratulations. First win as a head coach. Before we talk about the game, that had to feel good.
Oh, no doubt. It's just funny because I was telling our kids, you'll never forget your first win. I still remember, my dad's first win in Aubrey, Texas, and the score was 14-8, and I think that was in 2000. And it's just something that group of kids that it's always going to be special to me to know where we played at, in that first win setting.
And we can talk all about your coaching pedigree and you've been bred to do this job, but it's got to feel good, that confidence of going, okay, I know what I'm doing as a head coach.
No doubt. Now there were some times the other night where we just were communicating. Special teams kind of looked rough because and it wasn't our special teams coach's fault. It was just not having things. We looked disorganized sometimes, and I was getting frustrated, but that being said, that the lead up to the game, the practice weeks and all that stuff and coming out with the win is truly, that was pretty big for me.
Well, let me ask you, as a first-time coach winning, we talk about, players' first time ever on varsity, how fast the game is that first game, and then it starts to slow down. Is it the same way as your first time as a head coach? Did that game just fly by?
No, I mean, to be honest with you, it was one of the because we had excessive breaks because of the heat. So every 6 minutes we took a long break. Every time out was a longer break than normal. That game actually lasted a long time. And the second quarter, it felt like it was never going to end. And but as far as the game moving fast, how to control the game, and I've been kind of prepared for that. I've been on the sidelines, obviously, as far as calling an offensive game, and so. Different things like that. But for me, not going to the lineman chairs to make adjustments was big. Watching the defense, managing the game on that front was definitely different for me.
Well, let's be honest. The reason the game went long is y'all ran for 530 yards as y'all beat Castleberry 47-14. I know we were talking off the air. You said, y'all were kind of sloppy early. That's pretty impressive to say that when you put that many yards on the ground.
Well, we were. I mean, our first drive of the game was capitalized on, they had a muff punt. And so the punter fumbled the snap, and we got on it. We had a short field to work with. And then we punched in, I think, 2 plays, maybe 18 yards out or something. And then the other touchdown right before the half, we blocked the punt and returned it to the 2. And we ran quarterback sneaks. So we really, I say we ran a sloppy game. In the first half, I felt that it was sloppy. But in the second half, we kind of came out and put our, foot to the gas pedal and did a good job. And we had a 95-yard touchdown run. We had an 83-yard touchdown run. 50 or 60 yarder, and we compiled those up. And our offensive line, man, they just kept grinding and getting after it. And even our backs were blocking for one another, and that pays dividend to those guys. And we had a lot of different kids touch the football. We rushed for 500 something yards. We had 3 guys right at 100 yards or over. No one went over 200 yards, so it was a lot of sharing the ball. I think we had 8 different guys run the football the other night, so which is good for us. That's what we want.
Well, I was going to say, the last couple of years at Brock, the Cash Jones, he became such a lead back, and then injuries and stuff. But your offense is always about, let's get as many guys getting the ball to keep the defense, on edge and not knowing who's going to be getting the ball every snap.
No, there's no doubt. I mean, obviously, when you get a special running back like Cash, yeah, we're going to give him the ball. We were going to give him the ball the majority of the carries. And same thing when we're in El Campo. When you have one of the top running backs in the nation like Reuben Owens, you don't just stand him out there. You get that sucker the ball. So, but what I like, and as far as the team goes, is exactly what we have here. And, that's what, to me, and I mean, I'm not going to be shy about this. I think our strength of our team, one of the strengths of our team is that we have a lot of guys that can carry the football for us. And that showed the other night. I mean, we've got some running backs here that can run it, and not just running backs, guys, receivers, when they get the ball in their hands, like on a jet sweep or anything like that. I mean, they can do something with it. So that's kind of one of the strengths of our team.
As great as the offense was defensively, impressive, holding the Lions to 14, 7 in the first half, 7 in the second half. What were your thoughts on the defensive performance?
Man, I thought our defense played great all night. They had kind of a busted play that they got down inside the 10, and then they punched it in, and that quarterback and their offensive line was so big, it made me nervous going into that game. I'm talking they were monsters, like we talked about last week, and that quarterback can run, and the running backs are good, and they had a good scheme, and our kids just kind of executed. They executed well, and I was really, really pleased with how our defense, how fast they were playing, and how physical they were getting to the ball.
All right, you got your first home game of the year this week, taking on a Western Hills Cougar team that last year was 6-5. They return a lot of their guys, but they kind of got upset in the first week by Maypearl 40-8. When you look on the film, what are your thoughts on the Cougars?
Well, they're very athletic. They're very, very athletic. They can score. They've got guys across the field that can score anytime in any play. Looking at the film, they kind of snowballed on them a little bit last week. You could kind of tell that they were probably a little bit in shock because Maypearl came out. I know Maypearl was going as fast as they can. Coach Amrine over there is doing a great job, and I'm telling you, look out for Maypearl because they executed well as well. They have a really good running back and receivers and quarterback over there, and they're playing really good sound defense. I mean, I don't think it was just Western Hills as far as, I think Western Hills is a dang good football team. I think it just snowballed with some onside kicks. And Maypearl kind of gun up on them quick, and it kind of maybe shocked them a little bit.
It's funny. You talk about that, how Maypearl likes to, the term now is the all gas, no brakes and tempo. But that's what you do offensively as well. It's just you do it through the run game. But you're always trying to get to the line, get that snap before the read. Maybe be a little bit illegal sometimes, but we let it pass.
Yes, sir. I mean, well, we used to be no huddle. Back in 2015, we were a no huddle football team. And when we won it on Brock, and then we were snapping that. When I say we were no huddle, we weren't super fast, but we were, we were trying to snap the ball with less than 20, right at 20 seconds to, 15 to 20 seconds left on the play clock. And that was super fast for me. And when you talk to tempo guys that really, truly run tempo, they laugh at me when I say that. So, but from here on out, after that, we kind of went to the sugar huddle, and I'm just telling you, we got that from watching Pleasant Grove in the state championship games. Thought it was great, and we ran a lot of the same formations, and so we're just trying to get people not to defense our formations because we run so many formations, and there's an advantage. We haven't really right now broke into all of our sugar huddle stuff, but like I said, we're just still trying to get our kids to execute our offense for the first time.
For you, as a head coach, we talked a little bit last week about the district you're in for a Division One. How much in non-district, especially the first week, how much are you looking at what the rest of the teams in district did?
Definitely look into them. In our district last week, they all had some pretty tough opponents,
Yeah.
to say the least. Old High took on Ryder for the last time. Man, that setting was cool. I saw some highlights of that game. Holy smokes! That setting at Wichita Falls, that was a crazy set. There's a lot of people there, and then Decatur took on Anna and Springtown. I cannot remember who Springtown put on there. Springtown played Alvarado.
Alvarado,
that's right.
Who's a completely different team this year.
Absolutely. They are. Coach Walrath's got some guys rolling. But no, I keep up with them. We have a pool where we can watch film. I haven't watched any film yet. I haven't glanced at them. But having said that, our district's tough. We only have 5 teams in our district, but it's a very tough district for a 5-team district.
For you, we talk about it, your first win. After the game, how were you feeling? Was it relief? Was it excitement? Where were you?
Yeah, it was a relief, and both of those, and excitement. I'm glad to get it over with, the first one of the season. That's always a good thing. But no, it was good. I was just proud of our kids. Our kids executed, and like I said, the battle in that heat and battle in the locker room situation there. It was definitely tough for our kids. They were, we had a bunch of guys going both ways, and so that took a lot out of them. And just like everybody else in the state's battling with the heat, but no, I was just proud. I was tickled to death with our kids, the way they executed and the way they fought.
All things considered, and I think because of social media and because of the UIL and just people knowing what the heat was, I thought across the state most teams handled the heat as well as you could, because you can hydrate, but you can't hydrate up to win on some fields it's 130 degrees like it was last week.
No doubt. And we educate our kids all week. Drink water, drink Gatorade, but mainly water. And crap, I went out there for pregame and it was so daggum hot. I was sweating more on the sidelines than I ever sweat. I started, this is embarrassing, but I was catching cramps in my calf during the game, and his coaches were giving me a hard time. So no, it wasn't just the players. Apparently, it was the coaches as well.
Here at L4 Media, we talk high school football, 4A, 3A, and 2A in Texas. We talk East Texas sports. We talk NFL, guy talk, movie, and booze. We also talk wrestling and so much more. And you can see it all on our YouTube channel at L4 Media Company. Like and subscribe. Terry Bennett back here on the Powell Ford Mineral Wells Football Show. Again, thanks to Coach Wall for joining us. And love the tidbit at the end, talking about the heat and the coach cramping. That's how hot it was, even the coaches on the sideline. And he might have been a little bit more amped up than he's admitting to, with it being his first game as the head coach, and also, being in control for most of that game. I'm just saying he might have been a little bit more excited than he's letting on. But a great win for Mineral Wells, and it's a great start. And, this is a program that last year started out, 3-0? And then things fell apart, so they've got to make sure that they keep that even keel. Talking to another coach for a coach's show, we were talking about, we always talk about what coaches say to players after a loss, but also just as important, if not more important, is what coaches say to players after a win. Because you want to savor it, you also want to put it away and get back to work. But you've got to find that middle ground where you savor it and you're getting back to work, and you want that feeling again the next week. There's some that believe that you're more successful if you fear losing more than you crave winning. I don't know. I'm a crave winning type of guy. And so I think that the way you build the programs is you want these guys going out to compete every week, every ounce, to get those wins. And Mineral Wells did that in week 1. And they'll look to do that in week 2. I want to remind everybody, if you have any questions, thoughts, or comments, you can email them to me, Terry at S2S Sport.com. Also, if you want to, ask Coach a question, email that to me. If you want to just give me your opinion on the Rams or the teams in district, please let me know. We're always looking for outside information to help not only the coaches' shows, but the Sideline to Sideline show, which you can hear each and every week right here on on L4 Media. You can also hear it or watch it on YouTube at L4 Media. So we're always looking for information. So please, if you feel you have information about 4A, 3A, or 2A, let me know. Terry at S2SSport.com. And again, thanks to Powell Ford, located 1418 Southeast 1st Street in Mineral Wells. Give them a call, 940-325-1331. I think we've put week 2 in the books. Week 3, we're already at week 3, folks, coming up. After each show, it amazes me how quick this goes because, this is Wednesday. I do most of my coaches' shows Tuesday and Wednesday with 2 on Thursdays. So, the week of shows are almost over, and we're already pointing towards week 3. And we'll talk week 3 for the Mineral Wells Rams right here on the Powell Ford Mineral Wells Football Show on L4 Media.